Hola, you amazing artist. So, do you have what it takes to become an artist full-time? Because I sure as hell didn't.
Ruffy's Rants!
I spent a lot of years talking about being a full-time artist, creating an art career. I even had my little area where I would paint things for like friends and family. I even tried showing my work a few times, but that never really lasted because anytime that things got hard, I quit. Then my little art area would become this cove of broken dreams and fade off into obscurity. The thing is that I would jump in just enough to get my feet wet. If I was honest with myself, I never really committed. I mean, if I was honest with myself back then, I didn't really have what it takes. Oh, I talked a good talk. I told people what I wanted to do, how I wanted to be, who I was, how I was super talented, and I had been drawing since I was 3 years old. Honestly, all it really amounted to was just talk. You talk about how hard it is, how the institutions are keeping you down, how the economy is bad, how your mom never supported you with your art, how you can't afford to go to art school, or that there's no market for the type of art that you want to create, how your father told you to get your head out of your ass and get a real job. Or maybe it was that your teacher told you that you would never ever succeed as an artist, or that you don't know where to start, or that you're afraid that people will criticize your art or criticize you. Or maybe you think to yourself that you don't have enough confidence, that you don't have enough self-esteem, that you don't have enough talent. I talked about it. I talked about all of it. And they were all excuses. And I know what you're thinking. Yeah, but Rafi, it's true. Those things are true. And you're right. They could absolutely be true. It is absolutely true that it is next to impossible to make money with your art. It sucks, but it's true. But it's also true that it is easy to make money with your art and you can make good money with it. Honestly, you just got to make up your mind on what it is that you believe, because it's all true and it's all bullshit. Just think to yourself, what if the things that you think are true that are holding you back from doing what you want to do are just excuses that you're making up to not do it? I got to a point in my life where I was done feeling defeated. I was tired of coming up with excuses on why I couldn't do what I wanted to do. I realized that talking about it and talking myself out of it wasn't getting me anywhere. That I needed to stop talking about it and I needed to be about it. And it's not like the excuses stopped. They didn't stop when I decided that. Those excuses were still there every freaking day, speaking in my mind as if it was the voice of God. Your art sucks. You will never make it in the art world. Get a real job. People hate your art and they hate you. You will never be taken seriously as an artist. That's what I was thinking yesterday. Today is a completely different day and I get to choose what I'm going to think. And right now, that thought isn't getting me anywhere. So I'm not going to entertain it. And that was it. I just decided that I wasn't going to allow myself to believe those voices no matter how thunderous they were in my brain. Basically, I had to invent myself and reinvent myself and keep tweaking at the mental apathy that had taken over my life. And now that I was reinventing myself, did I have what it took to become a full-time artist? No, I don't think I did yet. The ingredient that I was missing was the willingness to just go all the way. All the way. The problem is that if you're a reasonable person, when you are trying to do something that is super scary, you're going to quit because that's the reasonable thing to do. You have to be unreasonable when you decide that you're going to follow your dreams. And essentially what that means is that I had to be prepared to embrace the suck. I had to be willing to think about all the things that I was afraid of happening and think to myself, how am I going to deal with this when it happens? Not avoid it, actually think about it. What am I going to do when this person criticizes my work or I have no money whatsoever to be able to pay my bills? What am I going to think? How am I going to feel? What am I going to do? If I was going to break out of my comfort zone and do something that I wanted to do, The suck was inevitable. It was going to happen. Because I'm going to be honest with you, it is not an easy ride, okay? It is not. I'm not going to sugarcoat this in any way, shape, or form. It is not an easy ride. Breaking out of that comfort zone, that is the toughest freaking thing that you will ever do in your life. It could mean people mocking you, telling you that you're crazy, telling you that you're wasting your time, telling you that you are irresponsible. They will tell you that you are stupid. And what's more is that your own mind will start telling you these things. People are going to criticize you. They are going to criticize your work. They are going to haggle with you over prices and tell you that you charge too much money. They will say that your work is not worth what you think it's worth, and you are going to get rejected. You are going to get rejected over and over and over and over. Following your dreams all the way means that you might lose some of your friends, that you might lose the support of your family, that you will fail time and time again, and you may not have anything to show for all your hard work. Because honestly, when you go for it, when you truly go for it, you are going to face every single fear that you have. Every single fear that has held you back is going to just show its face and come out and be standing right in front of you when you are looking around at the shitstorm that is your life. And you think to yourself, what am I doing here? How did I put myself here? Is this worth it? If you are willing to go all the way, then you've already established to yourself that yes, this is worth it. I am not willing to go back to the old way of life that I was living, to the routine, to the not even being awake and enjoying my day. I am going to do whatever it takes to follow my dream. And yes, this is absolutely worth it. You'll know that it's worth it because you'll have faced your fears and you won't be afraid anymore. Despite every adversity, despite every fear, despite every naysayer, you are standing there. You are standing there strong because you know that it's worth it. And the fact is that if you're watching this, you're already unstoppable because it's not over until you say it is. And no matter how old you are, there is still time. If you're telling yourself that you're too old, that's just another excuse that you're making up because there is always time. As long as you are breathing, there is time for you to do what it is that you want to do with your life. If you want to be an artist, stand up and become an artist. Don't buy into the crap excuses that you've been making. Making excuses in life is the norm. It keeps us small. It keeps us from actually living the life that we want to live. And if you're afraid of being uncomfortable, if you're afraid of criticism, then you might as well stay small. Anyone that puts themselves out there is going to get criticized. They're going to be uncomfortable and they're going to get rejected time and time again. But I can tell you this, I would much rather reach for the stars and miss than not reach for the stars at all and then live with the regret because I never even tried. And the fact is that I may miss, but it's not over until I say it's over. Be prepared to go all the way. Whether you want to be an artist, whether you want to be a writer, whether you want to be a taxi cab driver, whatever it is that you want to do, be prepared to just go all the way. And understand, it may not be easy, especially if you are stuck in a certain life and you need to step out of that comfort zone. That's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. But it is so freaking worth it. So, you've got this. I know you do. If you like this video, leave me a thumbs up and leave me a comment and let me know if this was helpful at all to you or if you've got any of your own pointers for breaking out of comfort zones. That'd be awesome. And if you want to see more rants like this, let me know that as well. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. You guys are absolutely freaking awesome. I totally adore you and I believe in you. So go out there and do your thing. If you like this video and you want to watch more, you could click here to subscribe and get a notification anytime I post a video. And if you want to watch our last video where I talk about staying creative in a world full of people that might be distracting you, go ahead and click right over here. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Adios!